Have you ever thought, what if the Chunin exams were not interrupted? As we all know, the Chunin exam in Naruto was never finished because of Orochimaru, the main villain at the time, which is why a champion was never really declared due to unfortunate events. But regardless of this, we can all agree that the Chunin exams is one of the best arcs in Naruto. But what if Orochimaru didn't interrupt the exam? Who do you think would have been declared the champion? During the Chunin exams, only 6 participants were left in the final battle before Orochimaru interrupted the event by attempting to assassinate the third Hokage. These participants were Shino, Kankuro, Timari, Naruto, Sasuke, and Gara. But since Gaara's fight against Sasuke was not concluded, let's discuss that first. Now, it's no surprise when I say Gara is easily one of the strongest characters in the Chunin Exams arc with his defensive capabilities. He was able to beat Rock Lee in the match, keeping in mind that Rock Lee was at his peak utilizing all his abilities against Gara, dealing heavy and lethal blows. But come on, we're not here to talk about Rock Lee versus Gara, we're here to talk about Sasuke's matchup against Gara. Now, it may or may not come to everyone's surprise, but Sasuke did actually defeat Gara during their fight before Gara covered himself with sand. Sasuke was overwhelming Gara with his speed. After some time of extensive training with Kakashi, Sasuke was able to achieve the same speed Rock Lee possessed when he took off his weights during his fight against Gara. The only downside to this is that for Sasuke to achieve the same feat of speed, he needed to consume a ton of his stamina, as what Rock Lee stated while he was watching their match. But nevertheless, Sasuke's speed and tactic outplayed Gaara's defense. Sasuke did so well that he was able to incapacitate Gara and stop Sasuke from appearing during their match. Although it was not announced, Gara clearly lost against Sasuke, seeing how Kankuro and Timari aided him in escaping the arena. So for this match, I give Sasuke the win. But what about you? Who do you think would win? Next on the list of participants is Shino versus Kankuro. I pinned them against each other because I think their matchup would be an interesting one, seeing as they both control something to fight efficiently. So let's dive right in. Kankuro, if you do not remember, is Gaara's companion during the Chunin exams, along with Timari. Kankuro is very boastful and an arrogant character that often looks down on his opponents, just like in his battle with Tsurugi. Well, his arrogance is actually valid. I mean, seeing how easily he defeated Tsurugi in their battle, Kankuro's speciality is manipulation, as he is a puppet master, which makes him a formidable opponent. His mastery of puppet manipulation and deception allows him to avoid facing his opponents in close combat, because that is one of Kankuro's weaknesses. Due to his reliance on ninjutsu, he is physically weak when it comes to hand-to-hand combat, which is why he uses body replacement jutsu to swap positions with his puppets or hide discreetly in his surroundings, giving him the advantage he needs to win a fight. But his opponent is no joke as well. Shino is also good at manipulating. Not puppets though, he manipulates bugs. Yep, you heard me, bugs. His bug manipulation is not something anyone should underestimate. Shino's main ability is to control bugs. He can use them for a wide variety of attacks. His main form of attack is a swarm of bugs. The size is able to cover a whole person. Many of his bugs are poisonous and can incapacitate an enemy if they manage to poison the opponent. As a member of the Aburame clan, Shino is actually infused with a special type of insect at birth, which uses his body as a host and feeds off of his chakra. In return, he's able to command them to do various things for him, such as attack enemies, track targets, or even create insect clones of himself. Now that we've tackled their specialities, who do you think would win between them during the Chunin exams? Well, I think it would be a really close fight, but ultimately I think Shino would win with his ability to manipulate thousands of bugs all at once, not to mention his ability to track his opponent's location through his pets. Kankuro would be at a disadvantage if one of Shino's insects were to latch onto him, which, if I may add, would not be impossible, because Shino was actually able to do this during the Sand Invasion, although their fight was a tie because both of them passed out. Shino would be able to best Kankuro if they fought in a close-range battle, seeing as Shino is actually one of the few characters without any real weakness, as he is proficient in ninjutsu, and also fairly good at hand-to-hand combat. Also, despite how Kankuro is good at long-range battles, once Shino closes in on him, it would be a fairly easy fight for Shino. These points give a huge advantage to Shino, so I'll give him the win. Next on the list is Timari and our MC Naruto. I know what you're thinking, why would I pin Naruto against a girl? The main reason for this is, well, nothing. I just want it that way. Plus, they both have the same chakra nature, which is wind release, so I think they'd be a perfect matchup against each other. In all actuality, Timari shouldn't have won his fight against Shikamaru, but since Shikamaru forfeited the match by default, Timari won. So with the information out of the way, let's quickly discuss how the match will go down. Now, we all know that Timari is a strategist, and Timari wields a giant iron fan in battle, which she uses in tandem with her wind-release nature manipulation to create severe torrents of wind. These can cause damage to her opponents when it hits, and she can also use these same torrents of wind to deflect attacks, giving her good offense and defense. In addition to being used as a makeshift club or to block attacks, the fan can be used to glide upon for transportation or intimidation, and it seems to be made of some sort of steel since it is able to deflect kunai and shuriken when opened. During her Chunin Exams final fight, she easily calculated the distance it would take for Shikamaru to reach her with the shadow imitation technique, and was able to consistently keep out of its grasp. Despite ultimately being outwitted in her fight against Shikamaru, she was praised by the Jonin, Asuma Sarutobi, who called her an excellent strategist. All the while her opponent, the main character Naruto, is the Jinchuriki of the Nine Tails. Naruto is noted as boisterous, exuberant, and unorthodox, quite similar to Hashirama Senju. Though he responds best to competition and is not afraid to ask for assistance, Naruto is relatively naive and slow to understand principles or situations. He often requires an oversimplified analogy in order to grasp explanations, and can even prove to be forgetful. Naruto is aware of his faults and admits he acts strongly to mask his embarrassment and frustration about them. Despite his naivety, Naruto can be quite observant, picking up on things others miss and retaining information casually gathered through conversation. Originally, Naruto was a rather inept ninja, failing to graduate from the academy 3 times. Through sheer determination and training, however, his skills rapidly improved to defeat strong genin like Neji Hyuga, Gara, and Kabuto Yakushi, earning acknowledgement from all the Sanin for his potential. Naruto never learned Rasengan during the Chunin exams, and mostly used shadow clone techniques. Who do you think would walk out victorious in this battle? Well, for one, we know how smart Timari is, and, in contrast to that, how dumb Naruto is. But, is he really actually dumb? I don't think so. Naruto may be dumb when it comes to other stuff, but when it comes to fighting, I actually think Naruto is very talented. I mean, look at the way Naruto beat Neji. It was some of the most satisfying moments in anime because we see how strong Neji actually is. He was considered a genius among the participants and was a force to be reckoned with. With that being said, and considering all his abilities, I think Timari would prevail in this fight. If she was careful enough not to let her guard down, and with her wide-range attacks, even if Naruto were to summon multiple shadow clones, they wouldn't be able to get anywhere near Timari. I mean, take a look at Tenten. None of her weapons even reached Timari during their fight. If Timari does not underestimate Naruto, her chance of winning would be fairly high. You see, Timari is able to create tornadoes with her giant fan, so Naruto's multiple shadow clones would be easily dealt with in one fell swoop. But if the fight would be prolonged into a battle of endurance, Naruto would eventually win, as he has access to massive chakra reserves. So in this matchup, the result would depend on the situation given at hand. And if I were to decide, I'd lead in favor of Timari winning this match because of her impressive ability to attack and defend at the same time, coupled with her intelligence. Now that we have our 3 winners, namely Sasuke, Shino, and Timari, how should we proceed to find out who will be declared as champion? Well, to make it interesting, and assuming the author of Naruto had the same idea in mind, I would think that to decide who shall be declared the champion, the 3 contestants would be having a 3-way battle. Yep, just like in Boruto, a 3-way battle against Sasuke, Timari, and Shino. Now, this match is quite interesting. A free-for-all battle against these 3 would certainly be a sight to watch. First of all, because of the first match where Shino incapacitates Timari's brother, Kankuro, Timari would have her eyes mainly on for the sake of seeking revenge. Consumed by her grudge to avenge her brother, I believe Timari would make the mistake of ignoring Sasuke during the match. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why in the world would Timari ignore Sasuke? Well, it's simple, really. I believe she will ignore him because it's stated that Timari cares deeply for her brothers. And seeing how Shino hurt his brother, any good sibling would be enraged or would be consumed with a huge grudge. With that being said, Sasuke makes a quick decision of taking care of her first to instantly eliminate competition, thinking this would allow him to solidify his chances of winning. While Timari's guard is down and is distracted by Shino, Sasuke launches a sneak attack against her, knocking her unconscious with one strike. This leaves Shino and Sasuke to battle it out without holding back. But this is where things become interesting. Now we all know Sasuke has a tendency to look down on his opponents. I mean, look at his fight with Rock Lee. Sasuke underestimated Lee so much that he ended up losing against him. Even when he used his famous Sharingan, he was no match for Lee. This is an important detail to note because as Sasuke fights Shino, he underestimates his abilities thinking he has this in the bag, and this is where it all goes downhill for Sasuke. We all know that Shino has insects that can drain his opponent's chakra and insects that can incapacitate them. Both characters can handle close combat, and if Shino plays his cards right and is able to plant his bugs on Sasuke, it would be game over, even though they are all what-if scenarios. I truly believe in a 1 versus 1 battle between Shino and Sasuke. Shino would come out victorious 6 times out of 10 because of his calm and collected personality. He isn't easily provoked, while Sasuke, on the other hand, during the Chunin Exams arc, was easily provoked due to his past, and his lack of emotional control would be his downfall. So in the end, Shino Aburame would be declared the champion of the Chunin Exams. Well, these are just my opinions on the topic of today. What do you think? If you were the ones writing the story, who would you choose as a champion? Let us know in the comments below, and see you next time.